Welcome back to a quick chat in the Cadillac. My name is SG, and I like to explore the simplicity of complexity. So if you don't know, this is my show, okay? And I'm going to break it down for you real quick. Today we're going to be talking about, I don't know, but I'm on one today, so let me figure this out real quick. Today we're going to be talking about something that gets all the scientists and spiritualists all tingly in their nether realms. Energy transfer. All right, that's what I'm on today. Because energy transfer occurs in many, many ways, as energy is never created nor destroyed and only can transfer. We got to be conscious of how we're transferring our energy and allowing our energy to transfer upon others. Oh yeah, there's plenty of ways you can transfer energy: negatively, positively, toxic and positive, and just authentically negative. There's a whole lot of balance and duality that exists throughout life. So if you're looking at me to tell you always be positive, then I don't really know if that's the right answer to give you. I'm also going to tell you, if you're negative all the goddamn time, then you're no fun to be around. People don't like you and you don't like people. So what the hell are you doing? So where do we find that middle ground that makes us feel safe, secure, authentic, genuine, and still productive? Well, let's talk about it. First off, we have to understand what we cannot do. What we cannot do is lie to ourselves, all right? So if you're feeling bad, you need to understand that even if you're feeling bad, you gotta be careful how you're transferring your energy. Just because you feel bad does not mean everyone else should feel bad. However, you have my permission to exist in a state of lower vibrational energy, at least temporarily, till you can get back to where you need to be. For example, in emotions like anger or sadness or frustration, even jealousy sometimes. They're all justifiable and they're all human. You should be able to feel those, and I encourage you to be as human as possible. However, if you feel like creating those type of emotional situations or environments or trying to stimulate those emotions specifically for the purpose of being negative is productive, then it's not. All right, we're all gonna have moments where we get sad and shit like that, but I'm not gonna sit here and tell you to relive your trauma over and 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 over again, because that wouldn't be productive. Man, lots of energy today, but let me tell you what I'm trying to say. Ultimately, there's a balance between being negative and being positive that you must find, and it needs to suit you. For me, I find myself just a hair to the right of right in the middle. Okay, between negative and positive, I find myself just a hair closer to positive than negative, but some days it don't be feeling like that. Like for today, for instance, I'm very positive today. I have a lot of energy right now, and maybe it's because I just had some delicious Burger King breakfast, but the truth is, on days where you feel good, you're going to see days of equal length and intensity that you feel bad. The key to making sure that you're doing so and giving yourself the space to do so and teaching others how to do so properly is to not attempt to force that energy upon anybody else. Now, this is difficult. This is the difficult part, because if you have people who rely on you, whether it's in a familial environment, whether it's in a friend group, whether it's a romantic connection, or even at work, people who are around you will pick up on your emotion. They'll be able to understand, oh, okay, this person is acting sad right now. That makes me sad. Okay, you really can't control other people's emotions, and I'm not saying you have to hide yours, but you shouldn't force other people to or attempt to force other people to feel the same way you do just because you're feeling that way. However, here comes toxic positivity. All right, pretending to be positive when you are feeling down on your luck is just as helpful as trying to force other people to feel what you're feeling. In all reality, pretending to be positive, it can come off as, oh yeah, we got to be strong, but it's not genuine, it's not authentic, and therefore it is not productive. I just did a video about escaping depressive episodes, so if you haven't seen that and you feel it's relevant, please go watch it. It's a couple videos back, episode number 2. However, you'll experience points in your life where shit just ain't okay, and for you to be able to operate, you need to just do this very simple thing. Say a couple words, and it will allow you, if you can't say it with your words, then I guess you could say it with your body language's tone and response. But I need some space. Simple. You use those words, it will give you time to process without affecting people as much. And if you can't get some space, then words kept to yourself are better than hurtful words that you will share out of emotion. It's also better than toxic positivity that seems inauthentic and disingenuous, because you definitely don't want to set an example of betraying yourself just to appease other people's emotions. Now, on the flippy flop, if you are having a positive experience, a positive moment, you're having positive emotions, you also can't let other people's negative emotions affect you, because we're not all happy at the same time, we're not all pissed off at the same time, we're not all sad at the same time, and we're not all fulfilled at the same time. You see what I'm saying? When you are in a positive vibration and you're feeling good, you're feeling content, you're feeling loved, you're feeling like you're showing love, or whatever the case, don't allow other people's emotions to affect yours, because now you're meeting them down here when what they really need is for you to continue being up here and being consistent and stable. So don't be one of those people who, just because I'm angry, everyone else has to be angry or feel my anger, because that's stupid. No one's going to take your anger seriously after that point. Do you realize that? You realize when you try to force your emotions on other people, they instantly devalue your emotions, because you don't even feel it's important enough to sit with them and process them. Obviously, that's why you're trying to push them on other people. So why in the fuck do you think that they would respect your emotions when they come about again? In fact, it's just going to make them numb to your emotions, so they really don't give a shit about it. It's all about balance, right? Life is about balance. That's why I got it tattooed on my stomach right here, the yin and the yang, if you could see it, man. It's all about balance. You have to be able to understand when you do need some space, when others need some space, when you need to be the light, and when you need to go take your quiet little dim shadow self and, cry in a corner for a second. I don't know. And I'm not saying that to be a bully. I'm saying that because you have to process your emotions without forcing them or pushing them or projecting them on others. It's a little bit difficult to do, to say the least. The funny thing is, a lot of people's negative experiences and traumas that come from the past result from some sort of interaction they had with somebody who is also not processing their emotion. And it's like a vicious cycle. So you got to process this shit. You can't run from it. If you run from it, then you're going to try to project it, or you'll shrink into your own shell and eventually end up turning yourself into smithereens. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say, but that is the truth. On the opposite side, let's say you're someone who doesn't, you run from your emotions, and instead of trying to project them onto others, you try to project onto yourself that you actually don't feel those emotions. You're either going to become a numb, lifeless a skeleton of what you used to be, who doesn't really feel emotion because their emotions have been invalidated, or you're going to become a person who's just disingenuous and feels like everyone else doesn't, actually consider or value them, because you don't communicate when you need space and where you're going through things, and give yourself the actual validation to understand, I'm not okay right now, but that's okay. It's going to allow me time to process so I can get back to being okay. Genuine and authentic positivity will uplift any person in any environment who is willing to process their emotions, even in your deepest, darkest depths. Seeing someone who is genuinely happy will inspire you to go and find that happy, or even remind you of points in time where you felt that happiness, and that gets you one step closer to being out of that deep, dark depth. But toxic positivity exists as disingenuous, and essentially what it means is not the same as normal positivity. So we want to be genuine and authentic in our emotions so that we can sit with them, we can process them, and we can experience them as we are supposed to. Otherwise, they pile up one way or another, and then when you go to open up your closet door and all those skeletons fall out and crush your stupid ass because you never went and dealt with them, who is to blame? All right, so be careful how your energy transfer happens. Be careful. Don't let other people's energy transfer onto you, because you don't need that effect. It's already hard enough to deal with your own energy, emotions, and experience your own life. You don't need to experience others for them as well. That was quick, but that's what I got for you today. Peace.